Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to all the new subscribers I have had recently. It is so wonderful to watch this community grow and to connect with each of you. So please do drop a comment below if you are new. I would love to connect with you all more and to find out more about you and what you're enjoying about my videos and what you would like to see more of. In today's video, as you can see from the title, we have an unboxing for the Modern Witch Tarot by Lisa Sterle. I'm really excited to share this with you today. So let's get started. If you've watched my Starseed Oracle unboxing video, then you may remember that I discussed that I don't have many tarot decks and I don't tend to read tarot, and that's because traditionally I have preferred to go for tarot readings. Just felt like there was a spirit there. That's because I've preferred to go for tarot readings, and I am the kind of person who, if I know something, I might project my own understanding onto it. I think that's only natural, many of us do that, and therefore I've never trained in tarot, and I do think it's something that ideally you do need to train in because there are such specific meanings, and then on that foundation of the analytical side, you can add your own intuitive interpretations and expand from there. So as I say, I don't have many tarot decks. This is going to be my third tarot deck, so I'm really excited to look through it with you today, and I'm going to be learning things as well as you. I know the major arcana a little bit, but the minor I know absolutely nothing about. And one of my friends uses tarot quite regularly, and whenever she sends me screenshots of the cards she's picked, I just have to keep saying to her, I have no idea what that card means. So I'm really excited to connect with this deck and look further into the meanings of each of the cards. So I will be using this for my own personal use and also just for friends, but we're friends, right? So I'm going to pull some cards at the end of this video for you if you're watching. Because tarot is so powerful, I always think that you should only really give readings every 3 to 6 months, or when you're going through a really difficult period. And therefore I might not read my tarot or ask someone to read my tarot for, you know, a year, 2 years, and then suddenly I might need a reading every 3 months, or I might just have one every 6 months if I just feel like I need a bit of guidance and a bit of support and some understanding of what's going on. Whereas with Oracle, I would tend to read my Oracle maybe every month just to see what's coming in, because Oracle is a little bit more gentle and more subtle than tarot. So what drew me to this deck is firstly that it was obviously connected to the witch archetype, but secondly that it actually had more inclusive cards. They're not all white characters, you know, there are women of colour in here, and there are LGBT plus cards in here as well, which I think is amazing, and I think it's really necessary. And that's why I think Lisa Sterle has obviously called it the Modern Witch Tarot, because it's not just sticking to the traditions, it's actually expanding and taking it forwards into the future, because sometimes we need to do that with spiritual tools and actually expand them and modernize them and take them further for the future. Sometimes they are perfect for the time they are created, and we need to be able to move them forwards with our time. So I'm really excited to get into this deck, so why don't we start by looking through at least the major arcana, and then I will pull some cards for you for the next few months. So inside the box itself is this really cool imagery of moon and stars and chalices and swords and all kinds of beautiful things. So let me just move the box to one side. Then obviously you have the deck and you have the guidebook. It's quite a small guidebook. That's because she's put a lot of information onto 1 or 2 pages, because obviously there's less information needed for each of the minor arcana. I have to say, when I first saw this image, it felt very intense for me, so I'm really excited to actually see what this card means, because she looks like she's just chilling, but actually it feels very heavy. Kind of feels to me like an attack, energetic or otherwise. Okay, so let's look at the deck. Okay, so let's look at some of the major arcana. So we have the Fool, a young woman with some very cool blue hair and a little dog, and then the back of the cards with the swords, the eye, the wands, the cups, the keys, and then a little hand in each corner. Then we have the Magician. This is obviously the front cover of the box. I love this image. I feel like there's so much power in it. Look at her stance. She's not afraid. She is ready to go. And then we have the High Priestess, typically my favorite in any deck. Loving the imagery here. Look at the pomegranate behind her and the crown and the moon. Then we have the Empress. Wow. What a gorgeous card. It feels very Egyptian, actually, the imagery in this. The Emperor. Now this is really interesting. Look at this card. I love this. This to me is very much a woman in her masculine power. Fascinating. I can't wait to read the interpretations of these. Then we have the Hierophant. I don't know much about this card, actually, so I'm excited to read a bit about this. See the cross keys at her feet, floral crown. She's got a wand with a diamond on the end. Then we have the Lovers, and this actually looks a bit like the Garden of Eden. You can see the snake, the apple tree, could be Adam and Eve. Then we have the Chariot. This is cool. I love this modern interpretation of the Chariot with a motorbike. I love it. Okay, Strength. Wow, another gorgeous card. Loving that she's got heels on as well. Amazing. I love good shoes. And then we have the Hermit. I can really resonate with this card a lot at the moment with everything that's going on with the coronavirus. So yeah, I'm sure many of us can connect to this card. Okay, Wheel of Fortune. This feels quite young and energetic, actually, this card. Reminds me of being a teenager. Makes me feel really old saying that. Then we have Justice. Yes, she looks cool. Do you know who she reminds me of? Is, I think her name ended up being Anne or Anna in The Walking Dead. She was part of the kind of scavenger group in season 9 and 10. Just that hairstyle. Then we have the Hanged One. This person looks quite relaxed actually in this card, and they've obviously got this gorgeous crown on, almost like they're having a spark of an idea or something. Then we have Death, which so many people are nervous about getting this card when they go for a tarot reading, and more often than not it just means the ending of one cycle and the beginning of another, but of course it can mean loss of some sort. But in a way this is quite a nice card. Death has a flower on his flag, and there's a bit of sunlight in the background, so a new time is beginning soon enough. Okay, then we have Temperance. Again, I know absolutely nothing about this. I guess it's to do with moderation. She has water pouring from one cup to another. Well, you'd only do that if you were trying to balance things and moderate things. Then we have the Devil. I feel as if there's no two ways about it with the Devil. This is really never a positive card, unless, I guess, when it's upside down. So yeah, be interested to read more about that. Then we have the Tower. This card came through so many times for me in 2018/19 when I was having a couple of readings from my mum, who's a very talented tarot reader. And needless to say, I got to that point where I thought, oh, here comes another Tower card. So yeah, this is definitely known for having very negative connotations. And I do feel as though at the moment Earth is going through a bit of a Tower moment with coronavirus. So yeah, interesting. Then we have the Star. Don't know much about this either, but I like the imagery here. I like that this is quite a body positive image, you know, she's not really skinny, and there is actually a bit of hair around her as well. Finally, then we have the Moon. You know that I love the Moon, but I'm pretty sure that this is actually not the best card to have out of the major arcana, so we'll see what that means. We have the Sun. This is cute. Look how happy our little face is on a lovely horse with some sunflowers and a flag that looks kind of like a happy victory parade, if you know what I mean. Then we have Judgment, another really interesting card. Loving again the body positivity in this. Then we have the World. Really nice card again. I don't know much about this aside from it can be very positive when it shows up. And then we'll just look at a couple of the aces. So we have the Ace of Wands. Love this. Look at that witchy nail. That's like the cool modern equivalent of a witch nail, isn't it? You know, like when you were younger and they used to get all those fake nails, those fake fingers for Halloween. This is like the cool version of that. Then we have the Ace of Cups. This looks like a really lovely card. You know, the cups overflowing, there's sunshine, there's clouds, and there's rain, but there's a heart coming out of the top. So I'm hoping this is positive. Then we have the Ace of Swords. This feels very strong and defiant, and reminds me a bit of the Ace of Wands, but there's more masculinity in this for sure. Then we have the Ace of Pentacles. I don't know much about pentacles. I think they're kind of sometimes represented as coins, aren't they? So I guess that's more about abundance and fruitfulness, really. And the final card in the deck says, you are a badass being full of life, love, and possibilities. Through this deck, may you find a path to your best self. So there we have it, the major arcana and the aces from each of the deck. Now I'm going to go through and shuffle them, clear the deck, and set them ready for a reading for you. So as you may remember, whenever you get a new deck, you always need to clear them first and then set your energy into them. Or you can burn white sage and allow the smoke to cleanse, and make sure that you touch every single card in the deck to infuse your energy into them, because you are the person who's working with them. So you will want to sage every single card in the deck. And you can also sage the entire deck and the guidebook and of course the box itself. And just make your way through, cleansing each card, ready for your energy for you to work with it. This is also quite nice to do because you get to look at every single card in the deck. And then you can pick a favourite. So the reading I have decided to do for all of us is the past, present, future and advice 4-card spread. And the first card, it represents the past, the second card represents the present, the third obviously the future, and the fourth is the advice. And it does say here, note for this spread, advice usually relates to the negative card or outcome. Where is there the most uncertainty? What fits best? So that's really going to be taking your intuition into consideration. I've also noticed that there are no reverse meanings for the cards in this deck, therefore you can just shuffle them and keep them all upright when you're working with them. So you want to start with a really good shuffle. Okay, so now I've placed all the cards out, I'm just going to bring them all together in a random order and then give them a shuffle and set the intention for the cards that I will be pulling for all of you from May onwards, the guidance that you will need to receive. Okay, there we go. I've actually never shuffled such a large deck in terms of depth, so that's quite exciting to just give that a whirl. I love how smooth they are. Obviously they are quite shiny, and I find that a lot easier to shuffle than matte actually. When it comes to larger cards. Smaller sized cards, easier to shuffle no matter what. Okay, so let me just tune in to the cards and to all of you watching. No matter when you watch this, may this reading resonate with you and be of guidance and help for you and connect deeply with you. Okay. So I'm picking 4 cards. I always like to shuffle the deck and then cut it and then put the bottom half of the deck on top and use that as my first few cards. But some people like to spread them out and pick them with the left hand, which is the hand of destiny or fate. Oh, I'm just shuffling and the devil has fallen out. But because that was just purely me being a bit useless at shuffling, unless he shows up in the reading we're about to do, I'm not going to pay too much attention to that. Sometimes that does happen, a card will fall out. I say that, the devil's fallen out again. So let's just keep him to one side and see what he has to say and connect with as an extra card for the reading. Okay, so this is for anybody who is catching this video up and who may need some guidance or advice for the next few months. I will do a close-up to show all of you. So the first card is the Tower. Actually, that's okay because that's the past. The second card is the Ace of Cups, which is the present. The third card is the Seven of Cups. And the fourth card is the Two of Cups. Wow, a lot of cups going on here. And then we have the devil off to the side. So let's just read what the interpretations for those cards are. Okay, so the Tower for the past. Intuitively, I know that that's okay because let's face it, coronavirus has been a bit of a tower moment for many others. So many things have been turned upside down. There's a lot of letting go, releasing, and moving forwards for the next stage of your life. So let's look at the Tower. It says, absolute disaster has struck. We've built and cared for the tower with its golden bejeweled crown, and now we are thrown violently from it. Fire rains down, dark stormy clouds gather ominously, and we are in absolute despair as the tower crumbles. There is nothing we can do as we watch its destruction, and the pain of the sharp rocks below is unavoidable. Sudden, massive, and probably painful change is on the horizon. The Tower is undoubtedly one of the most violent cards, and it doesn't have to completely destroy you. You might face the end of a relationship or a job, bridges may burn, or a friendship may go up in flames. Or the entire world could get turned upside down. But from the ashes rises a phoenix. Tragedy can help us to grow stronger. Definitely, it definitely helps us to become more resilient and really illuminate what's truly valuable to us. Again, that's really what coronavirus is teaching us. Feel your pain, don't ignore it, and you can learn from it. Pain is just another necessary element in living a life. And again, if you're watching this on a catch-up and hopefully in a time beyond coronavirus, then this is just saying some change is necessary and it's going to be really unexpected, but it will be very healing for you. So then we have the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups is the present, and it says, something beautiful and full of love has just begun, and your cup is so full it spills out into a pool below you. You'll feel yourself filled with radiant positivity, happiness and joy. Be receptive. You've been blessed with life-giving love, so welcome all your new endeavors. That's lovely. I definitely think that this is a time of reflection. Then we have the Seven of Cups, which is the future card, and it says love, spiritual wisdom, money, success, power. It seems like all the treasures are just out there waiting for you to grab. You're dreaming so big that you're in the clouds and totally out of touch with reality. It's time to step back down to earth and do the hard work required to be mentally healthy. Only then can those big dreams become attainable. So this might be saying that you've maybe indulged yourself a little bit too much in the Ace of Cups space, and now it's saying pull yourself back down to earth. Now's the time to actually put in the work and take the things that you're dreaming of and turn them into reality, no matter what that is. As long as it's loving and positive and comes from that space of spiritual wisdom and knowledge, then there'll definitely be a lot of love, money and success around it. So the Two of Cups came through as the advice card. There's a super amazing, spectacular person in your life, or there's about to be. You love being in their company so much. Each time you're together it feels like a party, and your heart is just bursting full of love for them. Get drunk on love, enjoy them beside you, and let them fill up your cup. What a cute card. This feels to me very much like the outcome of all of this could be newfound joy. It might be a newfound relationship, whether that's a loving romantic relationship or whether that's a loving friendship or a loving working partnership where you can really work with somebody and bring your ideas into fruition. Or maybe this loss and change is actually going to be a relationship and things are totally changing and the outcome is going to be for the better. So this cup is obviously advice, so we need to look at the negative aspects, it says. And it's got get drunk on love in capitals in bold. To me, that's basically saying get drunk on love, but don't take it too far. Don't put those rose-tinted glasses on and go for the wrong person, because that's never going to help. And of course, I said I would look at the devil. Unhealthy habits and desires can consume and control us. The devil has tempted and captured us with their false promises of wealth, power, and pleasure. The upside-down pentacle is the symbol of dark magic and adorns his forehead. He raises one hand in assurance of knowledge and the other hand holds a torch pointing at the earth and all physical things. We are blind to our chains. The devil has so skillfully misled us into its intoxicating realm. Money, sex, power, status, pleasure. You've become obsessed with superficial and fleeting desires and it's led you down an unhealthy path. You might feel guilt and shame as you let these impulses control you, and you might hurt yourself or those around you through your selfishness. Face the hard truth. Take the steps necessary to break your chains and to seek help if you need to. Wow, so yeah, no wonder that card actually kept jumping out, because it's basically saying this is what's led us to this Tower moment and what's going to lead us to the Ace of Cups, the Seven of Cups and the Two of Cups. Absolutely fascinating. So no wonder he jumped out, and I'm glad that he came out twice, because I was going to ignore him because I thought it was just my bad shuffling, but really nothing is ever a coincidence or a mistake. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and if you've been looking into getting the Modern Witch Tarot deck, then I really hope this has helped you to decide. And please do let me know in the comments below if you resonate with this reading, with the spread that I've pulled, and if it connects with you. I would love to connect and to share our experiences, and I will see you in next week's video. Thank you for watching. And I did say I would share this card because I did find the imagery intense, and yet at the same time she looks so calm. And ironically, it's named Everything is Fine in the deck, but it also can relate to the Ten of Swords. And it says, everything is fine. It's fine. Really? Sure, you've been completely pierced through with 10 sharp swords and you're collapsed into a ball on the floor. You're struggling, just trying to survive, as the weight grows ever heavier. You're going through something truly soul-crushing, and it feels like your world is ending. Every movement hurts, and sometimes only a meaningless distraction feels like it helps. But the pain will end, and you will come out stronger, having survived it. Could that or could that not be a better summary of coronavirus? Sending you all blessings, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.